during yesterday's coronavirus briefing, Governor Andrew Cuomo pledged that the MTA would be doing its share to be extra vigilant in cleaning buses, subways, and stations, right? So joining us to talk about the MTA's plans and a whole lot more is Interim President of New York City Transit, Sarah Feinberg. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Pix 11 Morning News. Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So let's first talk about the coronavirus fears. There's a heck of a lot of concern out there, especially because we are a city of mass transit, right? So are the folks at the MTA prepared to take all the extra steps needed to keep the subway safe and clean?
Absolutely. So we take this very seriously. You know, we also recognize that we're transportation experts. We're not medical experts.
Right.
And so we take guidance from the medical experts and then execute. It's important to remember the MTA plans for all kinds of emergencies and situations that could come up out of nowhere. So this is just one of many potential, situations that we prepare for.
You know, we had done a number of stories really about the number of cleaning crews on the trains that had been slashed over the years. So now you see that you really need those. Cleaning, according to our Anthony DiLorenzo's reporting, is once every 72 hours. Is there any way to get that to be every day?
Well, to be clear, that's sanitizing. So we clean all the trains all the time. So we are frequently cleaning stations, cleaning trains. There are crews that are, all around the system every single night, and folks cleaning during the day too. So this is the sanitizing that we're talking about. That's every 72
And what does
hours.
sanitizing mean?
So that's when we are doing like a really deep scrub with disinfectant.
Okay, good. All right, so let's also talk about this disturbing story that came out yesterday. I just want to get your take on an MTA bus driver allegedly spitting at a passenger who was trying to get on board a bus. She was having trouble folding her stroller. I do understand that the driver was pulled during an investigation, but what's the official comment here?
Oh, wow. I don't know details on it yet. I actually officially start the job on Monday, this coming Monday.
Okay.
But look, obviously behavior like that is unacceptable, but I don't have details for you. You know, one of the things that is deeply concerning to me is the sort of rise in worker assaults that we're seeing. So obviously this is something different that you're referring to, but generally I'm worried about that interaction between workers and riders. Okay,
and well, that falls into the category of safety really for both the riders and for the workers. There's a lot of people who are worried about safety in the subways, right? There's been an uptick of crime.
Look, everyone who rides our system or who works in our system has a right to feel safe and secure at all times. You shouldn't have to be worried that in a crowd you're going to be grabbed or groped. You shouldn't have to worry that when you're just executing your daily job that someone could come along and assault you.
So 500 additional officers built into the budget right now.
Yep.
Some of the board members, which you were formerly on, were against the idea of 500 officers.
Yep.
You are for it.
Strongly for it. So for months now, I've been seeing crime tick up in a way that I'm not comfortable with. We're certainly not at a tipping point, but it's moving up in a direction that I don't like and that I think others are uncomfortable with as well. Second, the NYPD have been great partners to us. They police a lot of the stations in the subway system. The MTA police have traditionally policed the right-of-way and the commuter railroads. We need to have a bigger presence in our own system, and this is a really important way to get there.
And some were saying it was a bit of militarizing the subways, and that it was going to be unfair to black or brown riders who felt that they were targeted because of it.
Not at all. So first of all, we would never militarize the subway system. And second, those concerns have been around a long time. I take them extremely seriously. If we're in a position where we've got a police force that is unfairly targeting any group, that's appalling and it will not stand. And so that will not happen at the MTA.
You are stepping into some big shoes. Andy Byford was well liked. It was such a moment really to see Andy Byford walk out for the final time to the cheers and applause. You know, you don't usually see that kind of situation. So you're stepping into this role. What did you learn from Andy Byford and what do you hope to continue? Because we are starting to see an uptick in on-time performance, which is a good thing for the MTA.
No, I mean, look, the 51,000 people who work at the transit, who work at New York City Transit, have done an unbelievable job of improving performance over the last couple of years. They are the ones who keep this system running 24/7, 365 days a week, or 365 days a year, and they're to be applauded. Look, I loved working closely with Andy. We worked closely over the last year as I chaired the transit committee and he led transit. They are big shoes to fill. I'm really excited to jump in.
There had been some rumors about a rift between Andy Byford and the governor who wants control of the subway system. Do you work closely with the governor? Do you clash with him?
I work closely with the governor, but I'll work closely with anyone who wants to improve transit service in our city.
So do you think the governor should have control of the subways, or should it be the mayor? Corey Johnson has floated the idea of municipal control.
I'll call that above my pay grade. I'm gonna work on leading a workforce of 51,000 people
Right.
and safely moving 8 million New Yorkers every single day.
And you are a
How about
subway
that?
rider yourself. I like that
Yes,
answer. Yes,
yes.
L Train 456 is something that I take
Spend
myself.
a lot of time on the one too.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. So if you had to pinpoint one thing right now that you would like to accomplish, that would you like to be your trademark? I know you're interim.
Mm-hmm.
What would that be?
I want every person who rides our system to get to where they're going efficiently, safely, and securely.
And do you want this interim title to become a permanent title?
You know, I have a young family, and this is a 24/7 job, and I've had a couple of those in my time. I did not have young children then, and my concern is that a job like this is not going to be tenable for my family long term, but if it turns out it is, I'm open to it, so we'll see.
Okay, well, Sarah, you are welcome back to talk about this anytime you want to come
Thank
back.
you.
A lot to always talk about in terms of the thing that New Yorkers rely on the most, which are the buses and the trains.
That's right.
Appreciate you coming in.
Good to see you.